world and then forced to live in prison. Not in the physical form, but a mental state of mind. See, she couldn't go to sleep at night without tears in her eyes. Stripped of her innocence at an early age, and forced to live with the memory of the tragedy of being raped by a friend who pretended to be an admirable man. Convinced her to drop her guard, and then on came the avalanche. Trampled and stampeded over and over again. I'll never believe that God could ever forgive this type of sin, cause if he did I would turn my back, never believe in him again. Because a father that touches his daughter doesn't deserve to live amongst mortal men. Now this girl would try to disguise her pain and hide it behind her pride. But the moment she would get angry, it would escape through her eyes, like the moisture in the air that slowly bursts a storm. She could only hold her pain for so long before it began to pour.
Somewhere in this life I know I can find my way out of here and stop being a slave to fear. Somewhere in this life I know I can find my way out of here and stop being a slave to fear.
It was absorbed by her soul, which took a toll on her heart. She slowly grew colder as it tore her apart. She was left in the dark without a light to lead her way. She always knew the night would come and take her away from the day's pain, straining to see some good in what was left of her life. She felt she should have known what was growing in the devil's eyes, never realizing that the truth had been provided through the music that she had produced in the time that she's been hiding inside of herself. She was dying inside until she decided to get help, to get well, and get out of the jail cell that kept her trapped and live in hell. But the fact that it hurt so much to face a failure, it had her running backwards, infatuated with bastards, sacrificing everything in her life that ever mattered. She collapsed on the floor, time would elapse through her dreams of one day being able to escape as she screams.
Somewhere in this life I know I can find my way out of here and stop being a slave to fear. Somewhere in this life I know I can find my way out of here and stop being a slave to fear.
She was struggling through the day-to-day, running and hiding, so she wouldn't have to face the pain that was buried inside her. She carried the burden on her shoulders and in her person. No matter how fast she ran, it was always one step further than her nerves could bear. Plus she never learned to care, cause all she'd ever been told is that the world isn't fair. Now therein lied the cause of it, all her hopes were halted. How could she solve the conflict if she never saw the problem? Now the weight of her mistakes just made a day with regret, and depending on the weather, they're planning to get together in her head to collect the debt from all the stress that she repressed, in order to lessen the pressure that she felt by